You're right guys, Shay here, Uneven Balance, hope you guys are well. Right, just want to do a video about the South African Test captaincy. I read a debate online a few days ago actually, and most of the people on there were championing that Faf Du Plessis should actually retain the captaincy. I think one person actually said that he should the manager should come out and say that he should be the captain for the next 2 years, or he's going to be the captain for the next 2 years, just build from there and plan for the next generation and try and create a successor. I could not disagree more with that idea. First of all, the guy's not in form. Faf Du Plessis has not been in form for a long time. Now, this notion of him being the captain for at least 2 years is, for me, borderline ridiculous, to be honest. I'm not saying it's a general consensus, I'm just saying that keeping him on for the medium to long term, you could say, to create another, obviously, leadership group, when the guys bang out of form and seems to have lost a bit of interest, as far as I could see, on the field, and off the field as well, I think it would be a very bad idea. The reality is, South Africa have now kind of hit rock bottom to a certain extent. I mean, they haven't done well for a while. Lost to Sri Lanka last year, which obviously Faf presided over. They got tanked in India, which I guess, to be fair, most teams do. But they got obliterated there. And obviously they've been beaten at home convincingly 3-1 from a fairly, I mean, obviously a team that was improving throughout the series, but England aren't an amazing team by any stretch of the imagination. South Africa have suffered losses against England by much better versions of the England team. So I wouldn't go say that England are anything special now because they've beaten South Africa in South Africa. But I'll do a sort of video on England anyway at the moment, how they're shaping up. So I think a lot of this stems from the fact that there seems to be no kind of natural successor. Well, if that's the case, you need to plump for someone like you did with Graham Smith back in 2003. You need to plump for someone and invest time in them, like he did with Faf. Faf has had his time as far as I'm concerned. If he's batting well, obviously, it makes the job a lot easier, but the reality is his batting form has been very poor for almost 12 months now. So he doesn't warrant a place in that team as a batsman, for sure. And the notion to think that because he's the more senior person there and that he can kind of guide the rocky waters, well, he's been trying it for a while, hasn't he? This has been a problem. The SA cricket team, especially the test team, has been a kind of an accident waiting to happen for a long time. The ship was going to crash at some point, and it has crashed now pretty much. I mean, there's still very much some ability there. There's some good players to work with, 4 or 5 good players there they can build a team around. But maybe now, not maybe, I think now, because of that reason, that they've hit, a fairly lowish point, they need now to elect a new captain to move forward, as they've got, I think Australia are coming next year. So they've got West Indies, then the T20 World Cup. I'm pretty sure Australia are coming, touring next summer. I don't know who actually they're playing in South Africa, playing at home actually this time next year. I had to check that out, but I'll research that. But barring obviously a smaller, supposedly weaker nation, they're gonna have a fairly toughish time, I'd imagine. So let's check that out. But anyway, doesn't matter. What the point is of this video is that I fairly believe that they need to look now to appointing someone new. So who have they got available? Now, obviously de Kock's been elected the ODI captain. I imagine he'll be elected the T20 captain as well. In fact, I don't think he's T20 captain, he's just the ODI captain for now. I think Faf's still leading T20s because Faf's going to play the World Cup, so Faf will play the T20s. He's been rested for the ODI squad, for the ODI matches. So, but if we look at the test team, okay, so you said de Kock is the first person that comes to mind, but the problem with that is, especially if you're batting at 5, which you shouldn't be, I think I've said already, you should bat at 6 at the highest, really, otherwise you're gonna put too much responsibility on his shoulders. So I wouldn't go with de Kock as captain. I think it's at test level as well. I'm not convinced he's got the brain to handle test captaincy at the moment. What I see, I don't think he's astute enough. I think that will come with time, but I don't think that he's probably the right man for the job at the moment. So then you come down to people like, okay, Van der Dusen, Bavuma, I've heard Rabada, which I think's a terrible decision if that was to happen. I think it's the problem they've got. I mean, the thing is about planning for the future. They tried it before. They've been trying to create a new, successor to Faf. They tried to create a successor in Aiden Markram. That's why he captained in India last year in the ODIs. They're trying to create a new leadership group. It didn't work out from there, and I was injured and out of form. So the problem is you don't have many shooting players. Right now, you could say the only shooting players they've got are, Rabada, Mirage to a certain extent. I don't think anyone is very close to kind of dislodging him from that test position. But Rabada, Mirage, you'd say Rassi at the moment. De Kock, obviously. Nokia, you could probably argue now, makes it as one of the three seamers for sure. But I would look at someone who's not been discussed that much as far as I can see, and that's Dean Elgar. Now, Dean Elgar, he's 32, I think he's 33 this year. He's around for a long time. You know, he's battle hardened. My worry is I don't think he's had that much leadership experience at the first class level for Titans. When he's played in England, he's not stepped in as captain for Somerset or Surrey. That's my slight concern. But I would be tempted to kind of throw the baton to him. Now, he is, I think, a genuine kind of short to medium term solution until they find more people in the team. So like Van der Dusen, if he can kick on, Bavuma, same thing, then you can give them a year or two time. But I think Dean Elgar wouldn't be a bad shout. I really don't. I don't think he'd be a bad shout at all. I think, yeah, I think he might be a good man for the job. I mean, first of all, I don't see him. I know he's not had a great series against England, but I don't see many people kind of displacing him at the top of the order. He needs a partner, is what he needs. Now, Peter Milan may be the one, but I mean that's another topic altogether. But I just think that Elgar's going to be playing and opening the batting with South Africa for quite some time to come. It's going to take a real lean patch to drop him. So my pick is kind of Dean Elgar. Of all the people that have been banded about. So yeah, it's a tough job. Whoever comes in, it's a tough job. But I just think sticking with Faf is a bad move if they really want to grow and improve this. They need to move on from Faf. He's done really well considering what he's had to deal with on and off the pitch. World class players retiring around him consistently every year for the last few years now. So, he's lost in his tenure, he's lost Steyn, Morkel, Amler, De Villiers, Alpha Lander. They have huge players. They're massive losses to any team. They're some of the greats of the modern game. So to deal with that is difficult. But I just think because of that, it might just be a time for him. He might be quite wary now, a bit jaded, and I think that's what I'm saying. I think now it's time to move on. So anyway, that's my thoughts, guys. If you enjoy the content, please do like the video, share, comment. I always say that, please do comment. I'd really appreciate a comment too, so something to kind of bounce off. And most of all, subscribe. Alright guys, I will see you on the next one. Cheers.